think we're on.
On
Can't tell.
the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Cool. It's going to be 100 eggs in hopefully under an hour. I know I definitely will.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot speak
It'll be
for
under
the
an hour.
competition. Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
If you got any bets on the table, you know who to put it on.
Yeah, you should know. The world record holder, clearly.
Alright, so are you ready for us, Phoenix? For us to get to the last cutscene?
Oh, wow, I need to get to the last cutscene. Hold on, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, just asking. I haven't started either.
Team Nerf. Ban this kid. That's not okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready whenever you are, Nerf.
Just starting the cutscenes now as well. I think the Spyrothon stream is pretty far behind what my own game, so takes
Thanks,
like
Sando.
50, 20 to catch up.
I appreciate the impartial cheering. Hey, Nitro.
Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, 3, 2, 1, skip. Try to have fun back there. Failed the first hour, that's a good sign.
Wow, I'm already so far ahead.
Wait, did you take longer to skip than I did?
I don't know. It's fine. We're where we are. Like, we already started the race.
So how do proxies work, JT?
Okay, so what I just did is called a dead body proxy, and essentially there are certain objects in the game that allow you to charge through them but not walk or glide through them. And when you are charge jumping, which means holding charge and holding X at the same time, and you press X, you get a stutter, and that stutter is a one-frame glide. And so if you do that stutter while you're entering one of the aforementioned objects, then you go high. Basically, the game forces you out. Oh, I don't think we're allowed to cuss. Hold on. I messed up something. I'm not going to tell you what.
Chicken walk?
No, I didn't chicken lock. I had a decent enough stuff. Did I?
Yeah, if only there was a stream where I could see what you were doing.
In chat, tell me if I missed an egg. I might have. I don't think I did, though.
I hope you did.
I honestly might have.
Even if you didn't, just tell them that you did.
See, I'm going to be going first for a minute. Nerf's a little behind, as per usual. But
I'm going for it as well.
Oh, are you okay? Well, I'm going to get it first try.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, interesting. That was a good prediction.
Yeah, same for me, right?
Was it?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
Ah, I got unlucky.
Yeah, super unlucky. See, anyway, oh, do I not? I don't think I think my audio might be a little ahead. Anyway, so what a swim area is any level that has a three-dimensional body of water. That's actually just a trigger in a container, and all the two-dimensional planes of water in that level also have the swim trigger attached to them. And so if you can get out of bounds, or if it bleeds a little bit, like in the case that we just saw, you just charge in, you get swim in air, and you're not contained at all. And so you can go wherever you want. Also relevant to mention is that usually you would have to open Sheila with 300 gems, a payment to money bags, and a cutscene. Levels that are locked are stored directly where they directly beneath where they would be if they were unlocked, and they're still fully active. So by going out of bounds and touching the stored portal, we can just go into the level without any of the requirements for the level. It's a lot more useful than 80%, but prevents payments in this category. Giving JT a head start. Oh, has he not got? Have you not gotten waterfall yet?
No, I'm just gonna move on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll need it though, because Nerf is way, way better than me at the last 2 homeworlds. So a head start's good in this case. Hey, Puppet. I hear where to follow. Yeah, it's it's very aptly said that you said when he makes it up, when it's made up, because it is going to be made up. I am pretty sure. Oh, so area portals, which is what I just entered, are in many cases much larger than they appear to be. And so I kind of glided around the back of the structure and just touched where the area portal is, and it's just much larger than it should be, so it let me in. And fun fact, Sun Seeds is the worst egg that we go for right now. And if we went for another egg, like Nerf had a route that he did for a while with subs in last fleet, subs 1 and subs 2. And with that, he took out sandcastles, which I have out in my route, and Nerf has out in his route right now. But also this egg, because this was the second worst egg in the old route for 100 egg. Almost, yeah. He's just concentrating. So easy quick thief there if you do the bell towers challenge correctly. And I jump and pause out of here because you carry a little momentum. And so by jumping and pausing, I can glide a little higher, and then it lets me to get onto the higher portion of this, rather than falling all the way to the bottom. Are you actually muted, Nerf, or are you just being quiet?
No.
Oh, okay. Oops, that's a dumb bonk.
Oh!
So there is a route that was found last October that involves a game over, about 3/4 of the way through the game. And so lives are obviously really important for that because you want to plan your lives accordingly. However, in a race setting, I'm going to go for board proxy immediately rather than going for the death abuse immediately, just because I've been missing board proxy in practice a lot. So I might as well give myself 2 shots at it, and then we'll just deal with lives as we go. Okay. So the boar is a different type of proxy as compared to the Sunny Villa proxy. It's called an animation proxy. It's very similar to dead body proxy, but instead of being pushed from the inside of an object, you're being pushed by the outside of an object, but the momentum preservation is all the same. Oh my god.
You got first try, right?
What? Waterfall?
Or
Yeah, I got first try board.
do you have a backup death plan?
I'm gonna miss something.
Okay.
That's my backup. If I don't, then I'll just go for Firefly twice, and I mean, assuming I miss it that time. And then if not, I'll just Death Abuse an extra time. I can always put the Bentley Death Abuse back in too, because I don't have that in my route. So instead of carrying a zombie.
I don't think I've ever done a Bentley death.
I mean before Bentley, as you're going in.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, you might see a Nerf straw. I don't know what he's doing, but if he goes for the Death Abuse first, it's a completely different Molten Crater route, and the Death Abuse is faster than going for Boar the first time by about a second, plus it plays into the Game Over Abuse route later on, which saves 4 or 5 seconds. So Seashell Shore, it's one of the interesting levels that has a bunch of different routes. Well, I guess not a bunch of different routes, but it has a couple different routes based on how high the proxy I get is. If it's terrible, then I'm going to go through the level pretty vanilla. If it's decent, I can do a level skip like an any percent, and if it's very good, I can save an extra few seconds going straight into Sheila. I'm going to guess I'm going to get the middle version of that. Yeah. So I'm going to do the any percent skip. Saves like a second over not doing it. Oh, yeah, okay. Guess what I failed, Nerf?
Bluto.
No, that would be less embarrassing.
What a time.
Yeah. Okay. So if you watch Nerf and I do Bluto, we do it a little differently. Nerf does the faster strats, involving like backing up his whatever it is. What's Spyro on Nerf? Like a jet ski type thing. Yeah, okay. So he's on a jet boat or something. Nerf does some backup strats that are pretty finessey. They're like, I don't know, they're too hard. But I messed up these ones too, so might as well have gone for them. But anyway, I do different strats. I don't know what the difference is actually. I've never timed it. I just know Nerf strats are a little faster.
It's roughly a second or so.
Yeah. So I intended to get a box that I didn't get. The strats shifted a little bit at the end because of it. But you'll see the big difference in Nerf's strats because they're very different.
Oh, hi, Spyro.
Sheila has kind of interesting movement. Didn't really mention it before, but in most cases, it's going to be advantageous for us to double jump as soon as we can, rather than just doing a single jump, even if we can make it with a single jump. At least in an RTS setting, that's usually the best bet because her jumping speed gets halved if you're doing a spinning jump, or a single jump, rather. Whereas it doesn't if she's doing a double jump. There's some other like minor things you can do. Buzz is a pretty interesting boss. I'm not going to be aggressive and I might still die. But basically we get him to the edge, get a quick hit on him, and then we stand near where he comes out, and his buzzsaw attack is shortened because he's programmed not to go off the edge by himself. At that point, he's supposed to get this defensive wall of fire. But if we turn the camera away from him, that never actually spawns. And so you take away his offense, you take away his defense, and then he's just a vulnerable creature. I don't know. He's super easy to kill.
It's a wussy green toad.
Indeed.
Bulbasaurs, whatever people called him back in the day.
Yeah. I actually like Buzz. I like in this category, because I don't like Spike in this category. I like Spike in 90% a lot. Scorch is terrible. Sorceress is great. How would you rank the bosses, Nerf, in this category?
Best to worst or worst to best?
Best to worst.
Spike, Sorceress, Scorch, Buzz.
Alright. Yeah, I would do Sorceress, Buzz, Spike, Scorch. But then I like Spike in 90%, like I said, so he'd vault over Buzz for me.
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about putting Buzz behind Scorch.
What?
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about putting Buzz behind Scorch.
Did I do that?
No, I did.
Oh, well, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Didn't even.
that's-
Well, yeah, it didn't even cross my mind that you would do that. It's one of those things I just didn't notice because it was unfathomable to me.
Well, there you go.
Buzz in any and all categories. No, it's a good boss because it's interesting. Like it's repetitive, and I can give you that it's repetitive. But at least it's very, very broken and very, very consistently broken. I like it. Okay, so in 90% I go for a extra checkpoint that I don't go for in 100 Egg because we're on hard mode in 100 Egg and therefore there's an extra enemy that I would need for the checkpoint. I think Nerf might go for it.
Which one?
The enemy by the door, do you get that before you place both weights?
All three of them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that. It's easy.
yeah. Yeah, so I find...
you have plenty of time to do that.
I find that the movement after the second, or going to the second weight is really awkward if I do that, because then I can't get the enemy right next to the second weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I don't do it. And I prioritize the teleport anticipation, which is also worth mentioning. If you're about to get a teleport, and you stand in front of the teleport where you're going to be teleported to, you save a third of a second for free.
You can still do that with the killing all three.
No, I know you can. I'm just bad at it.
Really? You barely even have to move. Maybe you stand too far left usually.
I don't know.
It's harder to block the hummingbird there than you might think. You have a lot of leniency there. Why you stand right?
You shouldn't wish that on anyone, Seeker. It's not cool. Okay, so there are a lot of routes in 100 Egg where the route changes if you get a proxy at the beginning. This is one of those examples as well, where I would have gone through the level and gotten the island egg first, and then the end of level egg, and then the treetops egg. In this case, I do end of level, and then I manipulate these enemies. Maybe I did it correctly, I don't know. I don't usually bonk there. Manipulate the enemies so I can get a proxy afterward. If you go around the wrong side of the tree, no, I didn't manipulate them correctly because I bonked. But usually if you were to go around the slower side of the tree, the enemies would set up for a proxy and it would save time because I wouldn't have to do that jump that I did. How are you doing, Nerf?
Stunning bird.
So we haven't mentioned RNG at all. It stands for random number generator, and we just use that term to criticize anything that has random numbers, randomness associated with it. So the bug's positioning, the bug that I just tried to proxy from, it is random. I got decent RNG there. Had a decent pattern, didn't execute. So that's on me. What I just did is called a squeeze proxy. And there's a certain threshold where Spyro's hitbox can't really be condensed anymore without the game thinking that he's stuck. And so if you exceed that threshold or get to that threshold, you get pushed out to the area with less pressure. And so in that case, you go between the boulder and the little step, and then it pushes you up, and you get a skip.
Yeah, hopefully we able to show bug as well. It's a different route.
Yeah, it's a much different route, much cooler route too. This egg is interesting. This egg right here that I'm getting, Pee-wee. It's actually the thief that spawns after you get the end of level egg. Its egg is stored right there, but it's stored uniquely, where a lot of the eggs in the game, when they're stored, they're not active at all. You can't collect them even if you're in a stable state, like swim state or standing state. That one, for some reason, is. And so you can just collect it if you go to it while you're in swim state. Very useful, because the thief is kind of annoying. There are quick thieves for it, so it wouldn't be that much of a time save, but it's certainly convenient just to have an egg that stays there that you can just get a swim air to get.
Just sorry if you can hear background noise. It seems there's a bit of a thunderstorm starting.
This route can be interesting if I do it correctly. It's one of the death abuses that saves time and also plays into the game over abuse. And so I'm going to grab the Zoe right here, right there, grab the Zoe, and then try to death abuse on this egg. I'm not good at it, and I don't practice these ones because usually my files have eggs that have already been collected. But I got it, so now I'm going to go for the any percent. Ooh, okay. I forgot where I spawned. Now I'm going to go for the 80% skip. And miss it, so now this route no longer saves time.
What are the ingredients to 80% soup?
I just got manhandled by a jackhammer rhino. Alright.
I almost got bug. It's a bit too long.
Okay, so teleport anticipation there as well. You just stand in front after you take the text. You can do it if you enter like the perfect frame. You don't even have to take the text, but I mean, if you can just take the text and not have to enter the perfect frame, obviously it's what we're going to do. So there are a lot of levels that the architecture of the level is planned out so as not to give you the ability to go to the end, but give you like a tantalizing option where it's like, this looks like it's possible, but it's not. But in many cases, it actually is if you have good jump mechanics. So for the skip that I did in Enchanted Towers and the skip that I'm going to try right here, that's the same, where you're not supposed to be able to get this far, but you can. I'm going to go for a wall skip just because it's fun. I'll go for it. Oh, cool. This is probably my favorite side area in the game. And you can't lose lives, so that doesn't really matter other than the time. But you can just get that flame charge up. If you do the thieves out of order, the yellow thief gets broken. So you can just spawn it back to you by pressing the camera button. Really, really useful.
Yeah, it's not only doesn't count for lives, you also just respawn faster. Which makes you believe the animation of it showing you like your lives ticking down is actually part of the artificial load screen for some reason. That is in this game, right? I think it's in Spyro 2 at least.
What?
Holy fucking shit, my monitor just went out. Do you hear that?
Can you see it? I did see it. Yeah, I heard that. I think everyone heard that.
Oh
Can you see anything?
Yeah, it's back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time for a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enchanted Towers go a little bit louder.
Nerf has been using rituals to try to increase his chances of beating me in this race. Like in Child's Play. You know that satanic ritual Charles, what's his name? Charles Lee Ray uses to try to transfer his soul? Where all the thunderclouds come out and there's a storm. That's what Nerf's been doing.
The Cloud Spires cutscene at the end.
Yeah,
Maybe that's a homage.
could be.
God, that's so loud though. I think it's fucking. Sorry. I think it's the closest lightning's ever struck to me before. Honestly, it sounded like it was like right outside. Hope nothing's on fire out there.
Okay, so this is one of the biggest instances where it's very obvious that the fight has changed. If you've watched an any percent run and you watch this run. Because the fight is radically different in this category. Spike throws more shots out, he's aggressive, you have to hit him 3 more times, once per phase. Just a much harder and much longer fight. Oh, and no, oh, and that stuff happens, I guess. That can happen in 8% too, but that's bullshit. And you don't get chickens if you're dying. So I need to actually be a little bit careful. How do I remember the name? I like those movies. I remember when I watched them. I would have been in elementary school. And for like 2 years afterward, every time I took a shower, I would open the cupboards beneath my sink to make sure that Chucky wasn't in there.
Okay.
I did. And I also, after I watched Psycho when I was in 3rd grade, I took showers with the curtain half open so I could see. And I always like try to shampoo really quickly. I was scared of those things as a kid. This is a pretty interesting thing in Lost Fleet, where a lot of escort missions, like in the critter levels, you can't really break the escort. In this case, you can, though. If you take the save point at the end of level, and then Death Abuse, then Crazy Ed just teleports to the end without having to do anything that you are supposed to have to do. How many lives do I have? And so you can just finish the level like that. And then we're going to do something called Zombie at the end of this level. And that's a really interesting trick as well. Essentially, if you consider Sparks' value as a numerical value, so the green can be 3, blue can be 2, green is 1, no Sparks is 0. Then when you take damage that should induce death, the game recognizes that you've taken the damage and says it's like -1 essentially. I think it wraps around, technically. But if you pause in that frame, then you still have access to the exit level, and you can exit the level, and then you're in this limbo state where the game recognizes that you should be dead, but it hasn't killed you, and it really can. And so the result of that, at least the positive result of that, is that you have trouble switching states. And so since we enter Evening Lake here in ground state, or in swim state, we can just get to swim in air instantly. So I've elected to pull my zombie through Bentley. It's a little bit faster, also significantly riskier, but what the hell. It's not too risky, it's just, I'm kind of low on knives right now anyway, so we'll see what happens. Oh, that's an interest. Stubby, if you do not skip the egg animation, then you don't go back in bounds. If you do skip the egg animation, you do go back in bounds. So that's why I let that one play. So I'm still in zombie right now, and what that means for me is that Bartholomew is not going to teleport fluidly. I'm going to have to force some teleports, and I have to be careful just with the first one to make sure that he teleports in a place where he can actually feed me snowballs that work. So I delayed the teleport a little bit just so I can get a snowball that is angled correctly. And the cycles in this, the seal cycles, are all manipulable. Kind of similar to how, like in Buzz, the stuff didn't happen if it wasn't on screen. The same is true for the seals, where if the seals aren't on screen, then they don't do anything. And so you can suspend the cycles and get good ones.
Would you look
So coming out of Bentley, I can't pause out because I still am in zombie. There are a few things that ruin zombie, so to speak. You could die, and that will ruin zombie. And there are certain cutscenes that should teleport you and instead just remove your zombie. So I'm still in zombie right now. That's going to be obvious. You're going to get the other side of state transitioning, where before I was in swim state when I entered, so I kept my swim state. This case, I'm in ground state, and so I'm going to keep that. So I have to do a spin jump into frozen altars instead of swimming in. And here's where I'm kind of unsure what I want to do. I don't know. I'm really bad at this death abuse, so I think I'll just not go for it. So I'm going to do the old strat. Nerf might be able to show the newer strat, which involves like the any % form of the mammoth and then a death abuse that looks really cool.
So I think you're so far ahead, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
Frozen authors.
Yeah, I still don't know.
The death abuse, just going for it. I didn't go for it.
You don't have any lives, or?
I think I have one. Actually, no, I'm still in zombie. Okay, no, this is actually, I could soft lock the game if I'm not careful. I need to be really careful. Hold on. I wasn't thinking. I should have gone for the death abuse. I'll put it that way. It's not, I haven't soft locked it yet, but it's possible, and it's usually not possible.
You just don't charge around Jasper, just like walk into it.
I need to be careful, because I might get stuck in boxing too if I don't menu correctly.
You can do that?
Because I can't pause. I won't get stuck permanently, but I'll have to do it. I'm getting owned by this Yeti too. Got a 36. Oh, did Nerf miss zombie? I predicted that he would.
Yeah.
I told him. All right, hold on. I need to be really careful here. No.
I didn't even get to pause.
I see. Yeah, if I had said yes right there, then I would have had to do boxing too, because I can't pause out of it, so I would have just had to do it. Or fail it. But I probably would have just tried to do it, replace the neg later.
if you use
Yeah, I really should have done that death abuse. This is actually going to be a problem. Hold on. Because the siege challenge soft locks too. So I'm going to go for the any % skip and Charmed Ridge. Or I could just death abuse immediately. I have the life to death abuse, but what the hell?
Yeah,
This is more fun. So I'm going to do the any % skip so I can get rid of my zombie. And then I think I have a route that I was working on. I think this works. We'll see if this works. Should be fine. I actually need to get this skip. Alright, that works too. So, to explain what would have happened if I had been good at this game. I would have skipped to the end and undone my zombie.
Thanks, bro.
Hold on. I'm being bad. I would have skipped to the end and undone my zombie, and not gotten the end of level egg, and I would have left it for the last egg. So I would have done, complete the level but don't get the end of level egg, and then I would have gotten, what? The middle egg, the one I'm about to get right now, and then seeds, or what? No, I think it would have been seeds at the middle egg. And then the egg that I got first, and then the last egg. And it's kind of a convoluted way to say it, but it's a hard route to explain. Might have been able to make that hoverless, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
Yeah, hopefully I'll show off what's supposed to happen in Frozen. It's coming up to it now. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Oh shit. Oh wait, oops. Wasn't supposed to.
Ah. Fat Dumb Yeti. I knew you'd do it.
Okay, so these mushrooms, you're not supposed to get as high of jumps as I'm getting off them. If you charge down into them and hold X, and then release charge but still hold X, you can get a few jumps in a row, kind of. And it gives you a much higher jump than you're supposed to get, and then you can get a skip. So I just got a skip right there, and I'm gonna skip right here. Usually not this bad at these spin jumps. Okay. Where are you now?
I just finished boxing.
Okay. If I miss this, I'll take the game over.
Okay.
Thanks for helping out.
I didn't. Well, I didn't get it, but I didn't miss it in the way they killed me. So Nerf might be able to show that skip off too. But basically, if you can get that, you just skip all of what I'm doing right now. It saves like 11 or 12 seconds. You go right into the castle.
You try the backup of the cat?
No, I always die when I do that. I wasn't gonna test my luck. Alright, so I guess semi-interesting right here.
Spyro.
When you're coming out of the whale, if you hold X, then you get free movement coming out of the whale, whereas if you don't, then you don't. You get like scripted movement. So we hold X so we can go toward Fireworks Factory, which is the last level in this game over Abuse Draw. Last level in the evening, that is. I did not get a Firefly. So Nerf is very good at Firefly, so he might get it. And then he'll show the different route if he gets it. But it saves 25 seconds. It's a really important proxy. In this category, I think Firefly as well. Like in any percent, it saves 35, and it's the most important proxy, other than Helmet.
I just bought some
And in this category, it saves 25, and I think it's the most important as well.
He said they were
I jumped too low though,
Can't make them do
and
anything.
it was just bad in general.
I suppose it's depends on what you define as important. Maybe ball is the most important, technically.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, I think I did these in the wrong order, I believe. So I don't know what to do, other than be. Okay. No, I know what to do. We're good. I was supposed to go to Ninja HQ first in this round, but I'm used to not doing that. So the Agent 9 movement is broken. I'll let Nerf explain it when he gets there, because he's better at it.
I don't think there's much to explain. Apart from the...
It means I need to concentrate more because I suck at it.
Yeah, okay.
You've been doing great.
All right, and then with this skip in what's it called, Ninja HQ that I'm about to go for, we stop the Rhinoc that throws the bomb. We stop him in the middle. We don't have to do that on PAL. It's a much easier skip on PAL, but on NTSC we have to stop him in the middle. And so I'm gonna get him to move first, talk to Handel just to waste time, and then stop him in the middle, turn around, and then bait out a bomb throw, and then get up, and it just saves time.
Yeah,
And then right here, I'm just gonna death. Yeah. Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, and so then this is the game over abuse route. So instead of exiting out of Fireworks Factory, we game over in Fireworks Factory, and then we get put right next to the whirligig, or the rocket, whatever we're at. Yeah, rocket. Okay, so the Scorch fight sucks. That's really the only way to put it. I mentioned RNG earlier. It is pretty exclusively RNG. There's not a high skill level in this fight, and like in any percent at the very least, if you take damage once, you're dead, so you have to be careful. But I have gold sparks right now because I just game overed, and so like it really doesn't matter what I do. I'm not going to lose this fight. So Scorch's attacks are RNG. They're pretty minor, but the main thing is that I get red rockets. I got them second try. Red and green rockets do the same amount of damage, but you get 50 red rockets and only 1 green rocket, so obviously you want red rockets. Green rockets home in a little bit, but not even that well. And I mean, you can stand right in front of Scorch, so who cares if they home in, right? The preferable attack for Scorch to do is like raining fireball attack. That's the one we like. Oh, I'm being bad. Oh, I didn't have a green rocket. I thought I did.
It looks like this. Hey. If you see him.
Alright, Midnight Mountain's pretty interesting. Like I mentioned earlier, we skipped the Sandcastle's egg in Seashore Shore. Most people have that in their route. We're putting an extra egg in Midnight instead of that one. You'll see it in Desert Ruins. I'll point it out when we get there.
Hey, Spyro.
I think that
Hi, Agent.
Crystal Islands has the potential to be a really interesting level. Hopefully Nerf or I, or both, get at least a couple of the things that we want to get. But there's a proxy at the beginning of Crystal Islands that's pretty interesting, and there are 2 different routes that can happen from it. Both routes are pretty cool. And then there's a proxy at the end to skip the slide. That is also cool. So I'm hoping one of us gets at least one of those. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go for this route. This is a newer route. I'll probably mess it up. But you proxy the egg right here, and then you death abuse on the next egg. And this death abuse is kind of tricky because I haven't practiced it at all. Okay. And then you jump to the thief and try to get a flame on him. I'm gonna do it kind of slowly because, again, I didn't think I was gonna get it, so I didn't practice this. And then you have to mash glide so you glide, otherwise you die. And so you get that egg, and you've gotten those eggs, cleared them, and now it's just the normal end of the level. If Nerf gets Beaver, it's a little smaller. Let's see, Thief first, and that's a completely different route. One thing that's kind of interesting is that this NPC has an enormously large talk box, and so we can just go over there and get it. Yeah, terrible attempt at turtle. Nerf's gonna get it though.
Keep
Putting a lot of I'm putting a lot of pressure on you. But okay, I was worried about that. I was telling Wed or Wedge, I guess. I was telling Wed this earlier. He has his Discord, but for some reason,
one's
periodically, in the last like year and a half, I've just started missing slide skip, like the easy one that everyone knows how to do when they first start the game. I keep missing it, and I was missing it. I got it like 2 out of 10 times when I was warming up for this. I was considering just going for the normal strat, which is like a lack of strat, but didn't have to. My button mashing. It depends on what type of mashing I have to do. I do my right thumb if I'm doing one of the symbol buttons, and if I have to do start and X, then I do left thumb on start and right thumb on X. Oops. Okay, so this is the egg that we replaced sandcastles with. The shark subs are scripted movement. They're on cycles from when you enter the challenge. So if you don't mess up at all, then it's easy. If you do mess up, it's annoying.
Spyro.
And this is like a wrinkle that Nerf put into the route as well, where instead of getting the end of level egg first, we put it right after this challenge and we glide into it. This cutscene's kind of finicky if you go at it from the other side, because you can kind of mess things up and get a soft lock. But if you come at it from this side and just glide through, you can glide all the way through and out of the area of effect, and you still get the full cutscene. So there's no chance of soft locking there, even if other people have seen soft locks. Not with this style, and it saves like a second, I think. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do a backup here. So what happened there is that for some reason, when you take damage on certain surfaces, you can't glide out of it. You have to like charge glide out of it. And I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. That's all that happened. So I went lower than I thought I was gonna go. That's a fair point, Wayne. But I'd still be trying it, I think. Oh no. Okay. I really shouldn't miss that jump. I just wasn't paying attention. You have to kind of space out your double jump for that one, and I just didn't. Not enough, at least, obviously. There are a couple eggs like this in the game that require you to kill an enemy before you can collect the egg. So the enemy that I just killed last, if I hadn't killed it, the egg would be inactive. I'm not sure how many eggs like that there are in the game, but at least 2 that I know of. I think one of the ones in Cloud Spires is like that too. Oh, I don't know why I got sparks. I'm intending death abuse right here. Oh, that's why, because... Okay. Sometimes intentions go awry. The best laid plans. Oh, okay. Oh. There we go, first try. Alright, so there's a cool route I can go for in this. I'll go for it. It requires another death abuse. There are tons of death abuses that we intend to do in this run, like 8 of them or something crazy. This one only saves like a second, and I don't really get it that often. I get the death abuse most of the time. After saying that, I'll probably miss it. But I miss the proxy at the end usually.
Nice.
Hey, lollipop. Alright, so the death abuse should happen right here. On the slide egg. So now we turn right around and go into tanks now.
Well, well.
With 0 lives, I'm kind of concerned. Because usually I take a death abuse. I might game over here. That would suck. I'll try not to. Oh shit. Alright. In trying not to game over, I changed my strats and took more damage than I usually do, as well as being slow. So now I need to be really careful in this one, because if I die, I game over. I'm going to be extraordinarily careful, and I'm going to go and get one of the fodder. Just because I think that's the right thing to do, because I don't trust myself in this challenge. Like, I don't trust myself on a decent day, but when I haven't practiced the challenge that much, it can go however it wants to go. Case in point, this is problematic. So we're going to take some time and try not to game over. Hopefully not game over. Alright, I'll take it. I had to play that very cautiously, but honestly, like, I haven't been good at that challenge in a couple years, so it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go for a proxy. It's an animation proxy off the Jackal. Didn't get it. Was about to just death abuse and game over, but I prevented myself from. Usually when I practice, if I miss it, I just die right away. So my habit is to just death abuse immediately afterward. There hasn't been a real ban on it.
Ban on what?
The 99 lives code.
I don't know.
Did you use it?
It's weird. No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would have done it, like, if I were behind and about to game over, I'd probably do it. But I'm not gonna do 99 lives if I'm ahead and about to game over, because it's kind of a... I don't know, that's unsportsmanlike. Might as well just take the game over. Okay, interesting route in this level. I think Wed did something similar in his 149 egg run, but we go for a window jump. That's pretty angle specific. Usually I'm better at it than I am being right now. And then a squeeze proxy between the axle and the other side of the wheel, the cart thing. And we jump right over. Yeah, I love the guy too.
The first round.
Alright, so I would like not to fail this. The only run that I've actually finished, I've done a significant amount of practice, but the run that I finished involved a fail here. I've already failed the other wind tunnel, so don't want to embarrass myself too much.
Much more than brave enough to win the championship.
We are good.
That will.
No. I'm too much of a coward to go through the rocks. If you watch the 117 task, the rocks have individual hitboxes, and so you can go through them. But it's obviously very, very risky because you're not intended to really be able to go through. Alright, so the sorcerer's fight is really interesting. Very complex as well. I'll just explain what I know. Kind of how I know it, I guess it's the best way. So I'm gonna go back and try to read the cannons. 3 of them spawn at once, and based on that, you know which one's dropping. So in this case, I have D dropping right in front of me. It's the fastest one and the easiest one, so that's nice. Cannon D, that is. So based on that cannon, the sorceress has a fleeing pattern that's attached to it. Surprised I didn't get that 3rd one, but I should get this drop. No? Oh, okay. That's depressing. So I have to do something called a complete force now. I have to try it. It's kind of difficult. But basically, Agent 9 will wait under a tank, and if I manage this correctly,
One of them done.
which I'm not. This is a really bad fight for me. Yeah. I might get a drop. There's a pity drop that happens sometimes. I think I actually am gonna get it. Alright, that's fair. Okay. I'm gonna do the fight again after this, I think. It's a retribution. Oh my god.
Are you still not done?
Alright, it's time for me. Yeah, no, that was one of the worst fights I've had in the last couple of years. That was really bad. I know, right, ZBM?
You did it.
You want to try to explain it while you're doing it?
No.
Okay. Then... Where are you right now?
Just entered.
Okay.
Fast cannon. Actually didn't drop where I thought it would be, so I kind of wasted a bit there. It's 4 left. Okay, she just ran straight into me. It's not exactly prepared for that sort of walking pattern. So since Zachary Alliance isn't here, I'll say for him. Ah yes, pattern 27A, a complete false.
We did not do this fight justice.
Except he just ran up to the tank and walked away, so... I felt like I had the timing right, but he denied me.
Did you finish?
Last hit. And... done. Wow.
Wow. Alright, so then,